Let me tell you something most sellers in Coconut Grove learned the hard way. Pricing a home here is not the same as pricing anywhere else in Miami. It's not even the same as pricing a home one street over. And if you come into this market thinking that you can just pull a few comps, add a little cushion, and wait for the right buyer to show up, the market will correct you, and they will fast. And I have seen more modest homes sell quickly and cleanly because they were priced with precision and strategy. The difference is almost never the house. It's the pricing strategy. So today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I think pricing a home in Coconut Grove with real factors, the mistakes sellers make, the data you need to understand right now, and the one rule I never break before any home goes live. First, let's talk about why Coconut Grove is different. This is one of Miami's oldest and most iconic neighborhoods. It has a total personality. It has a feeling. There are streets here that buyers fall in love with before they even step inside the home. But that creates a very specific challenge when it comes to pricing, because buyers are not just buying the square footage. They're buying the street, the canopy, the walkability, the proximity to the village, the water, and overall feel of the block. That emotional value is totally real. But it's also uneven because the Grove is not one neighborhood. It is a collection of micro markets layered on top of each other, sometimes just a few blocks apart. Right now in 2026, that data reflects that. Medium home prices are about $2.7 million. Waterfront properties are well over the average. And the highest end sales have pushed well beyond $100 million. But at the same time, homes are selling for about 7% below list price, and the average time on the market is around 119 days. That tells you exactly what kind of market it is. This is a sophisticated buyer pool. They are paying attention, they are analyzing, and they are not rewarding wishful thinking. Now, let's talk about something most people totally underestimate. In Coconut Grove, the street is not just the address, it's a value driver. You can have two homes that look almost identical on paper, same square footage, same bedroom count, and same zip code, but one is on a quiet, tree-lined street where you feel completely removed from the city, and the other is on a cut-through street with traffic during school pickup and rush hour. Those are not the same home. They will not sell for the same price, and if you try to price them the same, the market will let you know. This plays out across the Grove. North Grove carries a high premium because of the proximity to Brickell and downtown. Homes closer to the village carry a premium because of the walkability and the lifestyle. Waterfront versus non-waterfront is a completely different buyer and a completely different conversation. And then there is the flood zone. Nearly half of the properties in Coconut Grove carry a significant flood risk over the next 30 years. Buyers are not ignoring that. They are looking at elevation, insurance costs, long-term exposure, and they are factoring all of that into what they are willing to pay. A home at $3 million with $60,000 a year in insurance is not the same one with $18,000. And buyers are doing the math. So when I price a home, I am not just looking at what is inside the four walls. I'm looking at everything around it that impacts the buyer's decision. Now let's talk about the numbers. Coconut Grove is what I call supply constrained and price dense. There is limited inventory, especially in the most desirable pockets, and the price points are really high. But that does not mean that you can price without discipline. Homes under $6 million are absorbing in roughly 2.5 months. This is where momentum happens when you price correctly. But in the $3 million to $6 million range, there is about 14 months of supply. That means buyers can have options, and they are comparing it to everything. And here is the number I want you to remember. Homes are selling for about 7% below their original list price. That is the market correcting overpricing. And every price reduction costs you something. It costs you time, it costs you momentum, it costs you perception, because once a home sits, buyers start asking, what is wrong with it? The best priced homes create urgency. The overpriced ones create conversations, and the conversations do not always turn into offers. Now, let's talk about comps, because this is where mistakes get very expensive. Comps are the foundation of pricing, but bad comps will lead you with the wrong direction very quickly. In Coconut Grove, you cannot compare waterfront to non-waterfront. You cannot compare gated to non-gated. You have to look at a lot size, not just the interior square footage. You have to look at the condition, the real condition, not just how it looks in the photos. And you have to verify permitted square footage. But the biggest mistake I see is using outdated comps. The market shifts, inventory changes, buyers' behavior changes, interest rates change. A comp from 7 or 8 months ago is context. It's not the answer. I focus on the most recent sales, ideally within the last 60 to 90 days, and I watch active listings just as closely because buyers are making decisions based on what they can see right now. And this brings me to one rule I never break. Before any home goes live, I check the comps again, every single time, within 24 to 48 hours of launch, because the market can shift so quickly. A new listing can come on, a property can close at any different number than expected, a competitor can adjust their price, and that changes the positioning instantly. I don't care if everything is ready, we check again. Because your first price is not just a number, it's your positioning in the market. And once you launch wrong, it is very difficult to recover. Buyers can feel when a listing is stale almost immediately. And once that perception sets in, you are chasing the market instead of leading it. So if I were sitting down with you to price your home in Coconut Grove, this is exactly how I would approach it. First, I would define your micro-location story, your street, your block, your walkability, your flood zone, and your insurance profile. Second, I would build a comp set that is accurate, not flattering. Third, I would analyze your active competition in real time. And fourth, I would check everything again right before we launch. Because in this market, strategy is everything. Here is what I want you to take away from this. Your home in Coconut Grove is not priced by zip code. It is priced by street, by setting, by story, by strategy, and by timing. The block matters, the flood zone matters, the competition this week totally matters. This market rewards precision and it pushes wishful thinking. If you are thinking about selling your home in Coconut Grove or even just trying to understand what it would realistically sell for in today's market, this is exactly what I help my clients navigate every single day. I do a very detailed pricing strategy based on your specific property, your exact street, and what buyers are actually doing right now, not what they're doing 6 months ago. So if you want a real conversation about your home, you can reach out to me directly. All my information is in the description below. And if you want to stay up to date on Coconut Grove, Miami neighborhoods, and what is actually happening in this market, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you at the next one. I have actually been, they wish they had, and the strategy. Pricing a home in Coconut Grove, and the other is on a cut-through high trunk. One is on a quiet street. Every single time within most sellers in Coconut Grove think their home is worth what it isn't. It's not even the same as pricing home during this home.
Yes.
But we did it.
Well, we did it.